Many people.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. I believe you're all good to go. I think I've at least have everything going correctly. And so we are going to just jump right into it. Oh, I'm a little burpy apparently. I guess I can blame the donut.
Steel yourself, freak!
I can say whoever came up with the idea of filled donuts is an absolute psychopath. I just really don't like filled donuts. Like, that's really about it. It's like, I don't like them. Like, why try and fill it with something that's worse than just donut? You know, now I'm wondering, like, because I know a lot of things tend to end up being due to, like, cost-saving methods. And I wonder if, like, originally filled donuts were done because it was cheaper. But I don't think so, because I think just the basic material for donut, you know, basically fancy cake, it's probably cheaper than a filling thing. I am definitely also actual Path of Exile stuff. Gotta also set it up on my phone, so. Once I deal with these two, or three, and potentially more, you know, it depends on what comes out the woodwork. And yep, more out of the woodwork. As I said, more is coming out of the woodwork. Okay, just a second, I saw that message. Deal with these things. Let me check something really quickly. Ah, yes. Created 12 minutes ago. Which is good time. Because that very much reads like a scam kind of thing. And with a new account, it seems fishy. If it's not the case, then you can always chat again in a little bit. But at the same time, I don't want to have any potential scam things in my chat. And the timing is just like, ah, yes. With it being 12 minutes old. Seemed a little fishy. Okay, before I forget again, I need to get this up on my phone so I can easily check the YouTube side of things. Also, I do need to mute my phone now that I have it above me instead of whatever. Okay, that is good, good, good. I just realized I didn't even pause. But I have been enjoying this season so far. I started on the season start, super hyped. Started as a spear person. Did maybe like 2 different... I don't think I even finished one zone. And it was just like, you know what? I just am not feeling ARPGs right now. So I just, you know, didn't end up playing anymore for a little bit. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play some more of it. Gonna just do Thorn stuff. And because I was also tempted to do a Thorns build, so I was like, you know what? Here it is. I'm doing a Thorns build. And then also I learned about shield block, and I should say shield block plus bash. The bash part about it, I should say. I knew about shield block. I used it a lot with the original bit, because it was the only thing keeping me alive when it came to enemies in maps. It was just like, yep. But the bash has been quite nice. It's quite the effective tool for both survivability and a little bit of damage. Ooh, I leveled up. Okay, life regen is... Okay, that wasn't too much more. But oh well. Another point is never bad. But now I'm going to try and reach down to here, where my thorns will do some life leak damage. And then from there, I can start... What's this? Nope. I can start... Aw, that really sucks. Wow, that is just so terrible at this point. It's like, yeah, you can't get stunned, but also you can't dodge roll or sprint. Sprinting just basically means, hey, you can't get around anywhere quickly. The dodge roll part of that, just like, oh yeah, you know those mechanics where you have to dodge? Can't do those, but at the very least you can't get light stunned. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. And I've been doing good, where I've only been, playing probably like an hour or so of, Path of Exile at a time, instead of like the league start rush to, you know, through the axe kind of things that I used to do. It's very much the case of like, you know, I'm gonna do it slow and steady, one little bit at a time, and then move on to a different. I'm also back in my era of like, play a game a little bit, move on to the next game. Play a game a little bit, move on to the next game. And it is quite nice. Because of, trying to think that, because I've been able to enjoy a good amount of different games. And then also, I should say, I've gotten a good balance of playing different games, and then also playing the games I'm enjoying enough. So it's not just the case of... It's not just the case of like, okay, I played a little bit of this game, now onto this one, now onto this one, this one, this one. You know, that kind of cycle of burnout, of really burnout-inducing chaos of just like, you know, trying to do too many things, not enough time. I've basically gotten it to where it should be. Where it should be is the case of, if my brain would work. Like where I'm playing a game as long as I'm enjoying it, and then, you know, whether it's like, okay, I finished up that quest line, or I finished up those areas, I'm calling it good. Because a lot of times that is what happens, where I'm just like, I'm having a great time with the game, and I'm like, yep. You know, I've done the area that I wanted to do, had a great time doing it, But we finished this up, and I don't necessarily feel like playing more today. Let's move on to the next thing. But if I'm like gung-ho, like, I gotta keep playing more. Oh. That was a little bit of lag. But if like I'm gung-ho, just like, oh, I gotta keep playing. There's so many different things to play. You know, like, so many different things to enjoy. Like, I'm having a great time. All that kind of fun stuff that I'm just gonna keep playing. Usually until, you know, I need to go to bed. And then also on top of that, I have gotten much better. And oh, I'm actually taking damage.
I must destroy
I've gotten better, and I'm actually going to bed or getting off of things when I mean to, instead of I don't even have. I just don't. It's just let go of the block and it does that. I just didn't realize that. But I'm getting off beforehand. And, you know, giving myself time to, you know, get ready for bed, unwind. Bunch of very good stuff to do that I have been, like, meaning to do for a while. But have been just like, oh, but let me finish this thing. Let me finish this thing. And it just hasn't been, oh, nope, that's not good. It's just been the case of, like, I haven't been properly doing it. And so it's been quite nice to actually, like, work on my health a little bit more again. Because that really is what it comes down to, is just good old-fashioned case of working on my health a little bit more. Ugh. The downside right now with my build is I am not doing much damage. This one's a bit harder to telegraph. Most bosses have just had like a easy slap, 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 slap. He does a lot of movement stuff. It's like the affliction towers are really bad to deal with. And I have to go through this bar. I need to get a new mace, but that's gonna be easier said than done. I do enjoy being able to go just block, slap, boom, block, slap, boom, block, slap, boom. Need to get them away from the puddles. Over here, Mr. Brash. Of course, you gotta do that. Okay, making it there slowly. Gosh, I wish I could do more damage. This at least gives some free hits. And like, this went really smoothly. It's just a case of takes forever. So right now I have like no damage. I don't really need that. Put that there. What else should I drop instead of this? Yeah, that should be fine. I could do Magma. Holy crud, that is so much better now. Because it used to just give you the, when you block. Yeah, it used to just, like, if you blocked within a certain time of raising your shield, it did something. Now that's so much more useful. Oh, what's this? What's this? Okay, it's reflected damage, but not exactly thorns. It's cool nonetheless, but not exactly what I'm looking for. This gives thorns, but I need to do yeah, I need to break enemy armor to get some thorns, which right now I can't do. I really can't do this until Act 2 at the earliest. So right now that actually seems to be the good option, honestly. Okay. And now what I want to see, luck is 26. Yeah, that's a pretty nice bonus. Right, the yeah, now that's actually a lot more useful. None of these are really that good. Just gives a little bit of armor. That's at least useful. Well, that gives at least us a thing. Okay, nothing else. I'll just grab that then. And let us portal back. Got that area done.
Thank you.
Actually, I need to take that back because I need to get ID. Gotta get it identified. That's a really good base for early on. It's too bad that I'm doing melee this time, or not melee. The melee is also that. Too bad I can do it one-handed and shield. That's my main form of damage. This could be useful for the cold resistance. Okay. Okay, this does count as an attack. It is based off my hit damage. Or theoretically, I don't know. No, it's based off of its own damage. And more based off of the shield. It's good though. That is actually pretty great. I love how it suggests using this, and it can't be used. It hasn't been updated. It's like, why are some of them marked on the plan? Oh, that could be it. Actually, let's read the flammability magnitude. Flammability is a debuff that provides chance for hits to ignite the target. It is not an ailment, but it is closely associated with witches. Higher damage from hits that deal more. Ignite more often. Base magnitude. There's 1% chance to ignite. Yeah, I know. I think that means it'll end up, yeah, just igniting enemies more often. More likely to. That's not too bad. That's still more. I like how this is fine, but it can't reserve ones or support gems. That's like there's definitely a few things off. Like you can't do that, but you can do this, which doesn't make any sense. Like I can't do any of the blue ones, but I can do green that I also don't have the decks for. There's a few issues I think with the Path of Exile too. I think probably gonna go for more damage, or no, let's go for the higher burn rate or likelihood because of the fact that this does a lot of fire damage. It will be something I'll be utilizing. Okay, into the farm. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-dee, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-dee. Oh, that felt good. Oh, didn't realize I was so close to my meter being full. There are just some things where it's like, oh, I guess didn't expect that a few hits would have put me at full. Yeah, because before it really didn't do too much. Why am I not blocking? Oh yeah, no, that's very satisfying. Where, like, it was kind of neat when the fire went off, but it was just happenstance. I can't remember what other part of or buff that it gave, but it was just like, yeah, this is worth putting on. I think even just as a, yeah, I got nothing else going on.
To one thing, at least.
Lots of damage, lots. Running through, nobody gonna stop me. I was like, I'm just gonna not get hit if I keep moving. Got it. At some point, I could potentially get better with the timings and stuff. But that'll be a little ways away. Oh, do not block. That would be big. Nope, okay. I thought I went up, but just oddly similar sounding sound effects. I still have a feeling I'll do a lot of stuff with Bone Shatter, as it just consistently is pretty darn good. It's just like, it's hard not to just capitalize off of some hard or some heavy stuns, or nearly heavy stuns. I guess that's the sound effect of part of the rift closing. I love how much health I get a regen. Now, only if I had better resistance against explosions. Oh, some dex. That's not too bad, except for I do have a life regen, so I'll probably keep that. Anything good? Nope. Anything at all? Yeah, don't need to look at that wooden club. I'm slowly gonna make my filter really fun and all that, but that will be a little while. Because I don't necessarily need to. I have nothing to consume endurance charges. That's kind of the funny... It's kind of funny how, like, I mean, there still are builds that utilize charges, but charges went from, like, incredibly awesome and useful in Path of Exile 1 to just being used for certain things in 2, which is like, I mean, it's fair. It was kind of the case of everyone built endurance charges if they could because they were just that OP. But it still is the case of, like, there's a little bit more middle ground, but I mean, all things considered, it really is close to a middle ground. Since the fact that you gotta actually use them for some big abilities, it's just that there aren't that many big abilities, I've noticed at least. Nah. It's like, I don't need to use more mana. Could do that, but I don't really need to right now. At least I don't feel like it. That's what I was going for. Gonna check. What was my other Thorns plans? That's just Thorns damage. That's where I need to get up to. Um, yeah, that's where I want to get to. I'm starting to think maybe what I need to do is actually get here first. In which case, I will grab... Actually, that's 3... I think I'll do this. I'll go this path. And shoop shoop. Grab it that way. I don't need the leech until I really get a number of thorns. Is it this way? No. Oh, okay, this is actually going to be quite the nice. I was not expecting the magma barrier to be just this effective. Ooh, potentially a new mace. Nope. I have one that is already that. I already have one like that, and it is blue, so it is slightly better. And I don't have the currency just to waste on it right now. Maybe at some point. I do I do very much plan once I get later on just to kind of slam any base items that I get. Assuming, you know, if I find them. And just like see, you know, I'll probably get a bunch of duds, but I might get some good bases, and then I slap them in the auction house tab, basically. And then voila, some people can grab those. At least that's the idea. Let's go back to town to return that loot. And then also put some stuff in the stash. Nope, too far.
The village has been...
Ooh, that's a good amount of damage, but I kind of like the extra armor right now. No, that's not bad. Yeah. Wish there was a place to put the ruins. So right now, I'll just put them here. Sneeze. Also, I don't know if I bump my mic, if it makes a lot of noise. Because I'm like, oh, that might have been worse than me just sneezing. Okay, none of those. I want... There's a ruin that gives you thorns. Usually it would be very useless, but I'm doing a thorns build, so I want those.
Quite, I think I should.
Yay, more skills.
Together.
Also, Mr. Sin.
Changed my mind.
Nice. Like that. And also, okay, I got 45% armor. Actually, before we do that, let us check what's the quickest way here. So if we do it this way, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 versus like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It'd tend to be quicker doing this way, just let's have that build. Yeah, I guess really have a dozen one another. I'll probably end up changing a few things based off how I end up things, but I think for right now I'll go this way. I guess there's also this thing of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Discounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, okay, definitely not that. Okay, I'll just go the bar route. That'll be about 10 levels later. Okay, now also check if she has any cold runes.
Finn makes fun of my collection.
Sadly not. That's not too bad since it regens, except I don't have the gold.
Bye.
Let's see if Renly has anything. We have more thorns, but really I'm not too worried about trying to get gear with thorns right now. I want it, but it really won't make too much of a difference until I've got a good amount of it. I'm trying to level with that kind of idea will be a little bit more difficult.
Stick to the cairn.
I was hoping I'd find something with cold resistance, but no surprise that I didn't. Okay.
Fear will best you. That's all.
Now on to finding some tools. Yeah, find some tools so I can turn that quest in. Honestly, probably part of the more difficult side of things will just be getting hidden time while I'm trying to maneuver. Okay. I also am enjoying the Abyss a little bit more on this character. Because it didn't feel too great on the Spear Lady. I think largely due to very crunchy and like I could do it. I could pick enemies off from far away, but that was just not fun. So it was a case of like, maybe it's not necessarily worth doing all this. But this time it's been like, oh yeah, I got very little issue. Okay, chest 1. Also looks like we get multiple chests. That's kind of nice. What I will also need to get is probably make it so you don't miss Keystone. Like no crits, but no misses. Because right now I will probably deal with a lot of misses. Kind of a waste of one, but oh well. Okay, who's like, is that just the last one? Ooh, nice. Okay, nothing really useful other than that one. Can I find... Can I find these tools? Maybe, maybe not. At the very least, I will get some more XP by looking for them, so So I'll have to end up killing more enemies. Boom. I love being able to prime them and then bone shatter. It's what I did with my first character. Was I would prime them with a basic hit and then bone shatter the entire group. And it was so satisfying just to watch as an entire group just went poof. And then at times I'd be like, yep, I've had this weapon for 35 levels and I'm 42nd. And then it was less satisfying, largely due to the fact that the enemies weren't going poof, they were going, are you done yet? Okay, let's just clobber you. Because I mean, that really was a big issue, was just trying to find gear. It was so annoying to just try and find any kind of gear for the first version, you know, the season 0. Probably this way if I had to guess. Yeah. Oh, this is a boss dude. Where is that node? That keystone for never missing? Blood matrix. That's not too bad. But that's not really too useful either anymore. Because it doesn't really give you anything but the fact that it's like, okay, you do some, you know, use your health instead of mana. Okay. Alright, it's it. Always. Oh, is it not a thing here? Oh, I see. It is not a... Oh, no, it is. Hits can't... No, oh. Yeah. Actually, it's doubled. I mean, that's still not terrible. It's just the case of, like, that's not actually as good as it used to be. Like, it still probably is really dang good, since if you're not building for crits, you really don't need crits. However, it is just satisfying to crit every so often. Okay. And some more strength. I was gonna say a lot of strength, but really not that much strength. What is the accuracy? That's still actually pretty good right now. Right.
I've nowhere to keep that.
Ooh. Some good stuff. Except for it's not actually what I need. I'm also not gonna even remotely let these try and despawn. Asian and... It's very unfortunate. Like, I guess this is what I mean. It's the case of, like, neither of these are items that I can use. Alright, I can get them ID'd first. They're good. It's just not for this character. And I think that's kind of the thing, like, between this and, like, Diablo 2 is, like, the loot for Diablo 2, you could easily just pick up your, like, you could use almost anything as anyone unless it was the class weapons. Then it was a whole bunch of different things that basically every class only uses their class weapon. Because why wouldn't you get extra skill points? Okay, damage, or durability, resistance, cold resistance. I'm just gonna go with this one. Solely because of the fact that extra cold resistance, if needed for the first boss, would be really nice to have on hand. Okay, and let's get out of here. Oh, also, they made a change where now when you're sprinting, or not when you're sprinting, but like the first little bit that you like very easily accidentally get into when you just manage to hold space just a nanosecond too long. When you're trying to just, you know, spam roll, like, I need to get out of here. Now it gives you stun immunity, so, or not stun immunity, but the stagger immunity. Because otherwise, you just fall flat on your face as soon as that happens, which absolutely sucks. Because it's like, oh, I didn't mean to sprint, but that just killed me again, you know, kind of thing. So luckily, that should be a less of an issue.
Face me!
Oh yeah, this fight is already going so much smoother. I would love if I had a new weapon. Oh, damn. I wish they didn't stagger back, like, so much. It's just very annoying. I accidentally put my totem up.
Cowards, fight or die. I'll rip your damn throat out. Your time is up.
Okay, so he did the mark for the guillotine, and then did his other big hit. Which is kind of like, really? Like, if you queue for, you know, one thing, don't do the other one. Which is actually, like, a really big issue with Path of Exile. It's just so many bad queues or other forms of, like, oh, no indication of that was gonna happen. Like, there's so many cases of, like, after, you know, bosses died and then, like, oh, something ended up still killing you from earlier in the fight that was just like, oh yeah, this is finally landed. Or ground effects and delirium where it's like you can't see it because there's just fog on the ground. Which is just, there's so many cases where it's like, I really wish there was better. You know, like, they need to fix the visibility of so many different things that, because otherwise, because like otherwise it's just impossible to tell what's going on. And if you have a difficult game, and then make it so it's like, oh yeah, you have to avoid these things, and then you make avoid like seeing those things difficult. Not even just avoiding those things, just seeing them to even try and avoid. But then it's like, well, what do you expect to have happen? Luckily, for the most part, it doesn't affect me. Largely because I make very low DPS, not very crunchy builds. Granted, I made a pretty tanky build and did some decent DPS in my books. But at the same time, with my first one, but at the same time, it very much was the case. Like, even then, sometimes, like, I'd still be dead and, like, whoop, dead. Just because you get hit with so many things because groups of, like, 10, 20 enemies, if they all land a hit on you, it's just like, oh, yeah, you get to be dead. And there isn't much you can do about it except for kill everything before it can see you kind of thing, which is very much an issue. Because they have because they have said before, like, they don't like that kind of style of gameplay, and the reason they, you know, Path of Exile is different as it is because they wanted to make slow and meaningful gameplay. Well, you can't necessarily have slow and meaningful gameplay if when you get, like, you know, when you just fight a normal group of enemies, it's just like, hello, you're dead, you know, before you can really do much in normal, you know, meaningful combat. Unless you just nuke them out from afar. Ah, dang it. Which then it's like, okay, well, you might as well do the good old, the staple of just, you know, destroy them before they can even do anything.
I've no more room.
But yeah, that's just kind of some of my grievances with the game. I, like, overall, I enjoy it. I have a ton of fun. But there are definitely some, like, fundamental issues that are just like, this does need to be fixed. And sometimes they do actually get around to fixing it. But a lot of the visual side of things rarely end up getting fixed. Because it's just like, oh, it's a limitation of the engine or whatever they'll say. And it's just the unfortunate kind of thing. I'm just like, yeah. That's gonna be the, that's really nice. I don't have a use for it, but that's a really nice one. Okay, I've noticed every so often it just decides to freeze. I'm not sure why. It's quite unfortunate. Okay, that should be good. How much damage is it reasonably? Woo, it's doing like 106. It's doing more DPS than my maces. That is quite nice. Yeah, every 8 seconds. And I can use that for in the league.
There is enter the manor.
Oh, nice, level 5. Anything good? God, I hate Perfect Strike because for the love of me, I could not figure out what the proper timing was. Like, I was pretty sure when it's really nice and glowy, but there's, from what I could tell, there isn't like an audio cue really, or at least it gets drowned out by everything else, and the visual cue is questionable, and so it's just the case of like, I do not like it, I will use anything else. This one is alright. It has kind of the curse of like, it uses a lot of mana. It shouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna put it on E. Because it can still be decently useful, I think. If I do this. Because, oh yeah, I forgot. It also raises your shield. For better and for worse. So it's not a bad one to utilize. The only downside is the mana cost. And the fact you don't get a bash. I was just stunned. Because I staggered because of... I used the resonating field too much. And I was just like, oh, time to stagger. And then I have to do this stuff. Okay. I got most of the way through. I could probably just... get to the checkpoint. Not even checkpoint, but... It's kind of sad that it is the case where... What in the world is doing so much damage? Oh, it's those machine gun birds. I have no idea why those are so deadly. Oh. Dang it. Okay, nope. Got it. Okay. Ay, why are there so many enemies? Okay, we're gonna do one more attempt to just try and run through it because I just want to get to the checkpoint and I really don't care. Okay, but that is the yellow enemy. Running past all this man. Not like that. You can just how much you can clip on. Oh, I got. Didn't mean to, sprint after all. Like I just meant to roll. I really wish that that the sprint and roll could be separate buttons. I have no idea why it is the same button. Like, it's the case of like, okay, but why? When it literally could be separate buttons. Because who thinks dodge and sprint should be the same button? Like, have an option for it maybe? But have an option to have it separate things. Like, that's really what befuddles me. It's like, why not just... Because I would love to be able to put it on shift. I don't use shift for really anything. Because I use WASD movement, so I don't need to be in place. I can just stop moving. And so it's the case of like... of just like mild annoyance of just... Like, shift is the sprint button. Like, that's what most games have it as. Unless you're Minecraft, and then you have it wrong. I really have no idea why Minecraft is like, yeah, control is shift. Or, yeah, control is sprint. Shift is crouch. When it is so much more annoying to toggle, like, control than it is shift. Or to keep, holding it in. But, It's a minor annoyance of mine. Actually, it's a very consistent minor annoyance of mine. When I see different games that, like, oh yeah, it's part of this genre, or it's part of, like, it utilizes mechanics that almost every game, or not every game, but a lot of games, do. And then it's like a case of, it's a case of just like, it's like, you know, games 1 through 20 use shift for sprint, and then game 21 doesn't. It's like, but why? Like every other game that's come before you does. Why did you change the keys? Because one, it's kind of pointless to do that, and then two, it's very much the case of like if there's a benefit of having industry standard keybinds because it allows people to just kind of pick it up if they've played a different game before. They're like, oh yeah, I know what this button does. I know what this one does. But if you have a difference, like, what in the world are you doing? There's a few other things that were in my head. Oh yeah, there's, with Doom 2016, the default option for grenade is control. I can understand crouch being C. A lot of games have it where crouch is C. That I can understand. But like control for grenades? Like, no, G is for grenades. And just like there's a lot of different settings in that was just like, what in the world? How did you decide this was a good idea? And like despite that, it was a very successful game. I mean, largely because it was still a really good game. It just had one of the worst keyboard layouts. Because here's another thing. I'm pretty sure the reason is because they didn't give a rat's ass about actually the keyboard layout. They probably had it nicely set up for the controller layout, but just like, yep, whatever works for the keyboard layout. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's actually kind of interesting. The Greatwood thing. That could be some fun stuff. Huh. That is actually interesting. So with the last update, the Font of Blood was just another life regen aura, which is kind of nice. Now it's actually a leaf thing. That is actually kind of cool. It's not too important or too useful, but it is something. What else? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I guess we can do a little bit more damage in Bone Shatter. Won't be that much more. I think so. I want just more damage. Yeah, I don't want to use that. It's good, but it just isn't too good. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I was like, what? No, it means the explosion can't destroy armor. Yeah, not sure. So I will actually just go to here and do these two. Because I am actually kind of curious how effective Resonating Shield is with the two armor explosion like ones. gonna go a little further because I just want to test this out. I do think I will call it good, just due to a little annoyance.
Come get me. Gruesome creature.
Yeah, that's actually not too bad. I mean, the biggest thing will be the stagger meter that I'd have to deal with as always, which is annoying. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call this a good stream. Had a little bit of fun with Path of Exile. I'll probably give it a break for another day or two if I had to guess. But yeah, once again, thank you everyone for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. I know I had that one person who came in early that probably was a scam. I don't know for certain. It just had the wording of something that was like, this seems fishy. Potentially even the fishing kind of fishy. And then also I did have another bot thing of, buyers views at blah, 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 blah. I've gotten really good at catching them. So they can try and get me, but they just won't. I've managed to defeat their grand plan. Or at the very least, their infiltration techniques. But yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed. If you want to watch more of my stuff, you can check out the YouTube channel for edited content. We haven't done anything edited for a while. I am tempted, though, to play through Couture, depending on if that captures or not. So I might actually be in the mood to do some editing soon. However, I also have a ton of other things, so I probably won't do that for a while, because I have way too many other things I should try and do first. At some point, I keep coming up with new ideas to draw, but I haven't been in the mood to actively take the time, sit down, and draw. But I have some fun ideas for that whenever it comes around. But yeah, so check out my other stuff. Oh yeah, the VOD channel, Guardianamic VODs on YouTube. Go check that out. If you miss any of the VODs or just want to see what other content I stream, totally go look at it. Have some fun. Yeah, and if you want to support me, I have a Ko-fi. I don't know if it's a coffee or Ko-fi or Ko-fi. No idea how it's actually pronounced. I want to say Ko-fi, but I've also heard it as coffee, and their little logo thing is a coffee cup, so I don't know. But if you ever want to donate to me, that is probably one of the easier ways to do it, as it seems a lot of people are using that now, so most people, if they know a donation service, they probably know that at this point. And it is just a 1-to-1. You donate $5, I get $5. You donate $1, I get $1. It is pretty much the most efficient way of getting me some money, and I do always appreciate it. But till next time, I hope you all have a wonderful time. Bye bye. Ah, my voice is going.